Yeah.
So I don't know how to figure out the math on that. So I'm not really sure. We were talking about the shape of the Earth earlier, that you could, since it's because you look at a picture and it's like, well, how come we can't see the bulge in the middle? And I'm like, well, it's because the Earth is so small. It's like a little point on your screen compared to the actual size of the Earth. Did we lose Zach? He probably did what I did. Hit the wrong button when the little record thing comes up. Did you hit the wrong button?
I always hit that dang button.
Yeah, me too. I always hit the wrong one. I normally get kicked off when that happens.
I was literally like saying something so good. I'm like, wait, why is he saying?
I was talking to you while you're gone. I didn't know you were gone there for a while. So.
But all I'm trying to like, I don't even know if I'm explaining it right. Like, I don't
I
think
was saying that I don't know how to do the math on that since it's
not a
784 times
math,
less
but
dense.
what I'm
I mean, you
trying
should
to
definitely be able to do the math on it.
yeah, well, I'm not trying to think of the math. I'm trying to think of a fair, I guess, a fair comparison. Because if I were to go take water and even like what you
Oh,
were
actually,
doing,
there is some good math here now that I look at it.
because you would have to have a picture like what you were trying to do with
See right
the,
here, it has the math already done. So 12% basically the density of volume of water. So basically,
well, that's
if
not
you were to
12%.
take like those photos and compare it to water, you would have about 10% refraction or 12% refraction
Isn't that
compared to water.
point zero, 0.12? So it's like barely over 1%. Not
Yeah,
even.
0.1275%. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, all I'm trying to say is, I mean, I don't know if nobody else is understand what I'm saying, is you have to have an image that's not actually visible, put the water in front, and then have that image be curved or be seen through this water density. But the only thing that you can show is, something that's actually there, and you put some water in front of it, and then now the image is blurry or refracted, but the image is still visibly there. So like the thing that Matthew
Well,
was
I
saying
think the
is,
way you can prove it is that, like the Chicago thing, right?
mhm,
Some days you can see it all, some days you can't. And
yeah,
so that would make sense that refraction is causing that.
that wouldn't make
Because if it was
sense.
flat, it seems like you should be able to see it every day.
Well, it depends upon your visibility, because if there's if
Well,
the
yeah, obviously, if there's fog, but I'm just saying on a
Yeah,
clear
see,
day, every
but
clear day, you should be able to see it, but you can't every clear day.
think I think, Brother Rob, you're actually thinking you can see a lot farther than you actually can. Like,
You can see super
you should
far.
only be able to see so far. Like, you shouldn't be able, like, I shouldn't be, even if everything was completely flat, we had 100 miles of desert and everything was completely flat, we knew it. I would not be able to see you 100 miles away. Like, there's just too much air and dust and all sorts of stuff in the way, light pollution, whatever. You can't even see that far in the first place.
No, you can see really far. I mean, I've
But
seen mountains 100 miles away.
depending on the
yeah, but
condition.
they're standing up so far. I mean, it's like when I go to the beach, my visibility is standing at like if somebody's at like 5 foot 5 inches, they're only seeing like 3.2 miles out. But now, if something was to stand or be elevated, hundreds of feet in the air, then obviously I would see that a lot like a lot further.
So I
But
just Googled it. It did say you can see 100 miles a mountain away, and I know I've seen them from 100 miles before.
yeah, no, of course. I
There
mean,
you go.
that's because the mountain is
So I
probably
mean, I definitely am
10,000 feet in the
seeing the
air.
mountain. So when Albert says you can only see a little distance, I
I'm saying you
disagree.
can only see so far and only in certain conditions. So,
Yeah,
like, I think
and
you're
if that
thinking it
thing
the
is
wrong way.
The
level
building's
though.
tall enough you can see super far. I'm talking on a
Sure.
clear day,
Yeah,
no
clearly, I have. Yeah, you
unusual
can.
conditions.
But can you see Mount St. Helens from where you are? Can you see the one in
That's
Hawaii?
because it's a round Earth.
see
If it was
that
a flat Earth, I could see it.
that's the issue. That's all I'm bringing up. You're saying you can't see it because it's round. I'm saying you can't see it because you can't see that far. That's all.
No, because if I go up in a plane, then I can see 500 miles
But now you're changing it to a plane.
because I went up. So now I can
Yeah,
see
so
farther.
obviously
So
you can
you're
see
saying I'm
farther.
limited. I can only see so far, but it's no different than a plane. Basically, you went up.
No, and
Now,
if you
now,
if you
now,
want
give
to
me a
change,
chance to explain, Albert. Let me finish. With a plane, you go up. Now the Earth has become the mountain. The mountain is down here. You're up here. All you're doing is switching the perspective.
Yeah, I agree. That's obviously what happens. I mean, like what I was saying is, if you look at the math, like me, I live in South Florida. I mean, I'm probably only 9 feet above, the ocean right now. So when I go to the ocean, it's sea level. So, my eyes, that line, that horizon line's only going to be like 3 miles out. I'm not able to
Right.
see 20 miles
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
But if
You're
there
only
was
going
a
to be able to see a few
mountain,
miles.
yeah, if there was
Unless
a
there's a plane in
mountain,
the sky, then you could
yeah,
see
of
the plane
course.
from maybe
Yeah,
50
yeah,
miles away.
yeah. Or like a massively tall boat. I would be able to see the top of the boat a lot longer than I would see the bottom because it's
Right.
sticking up in the air. But now the thing is this refraction thing, because you even said if technically you are literally seeing that boat, then the earth would be flat.
Right.
So that's all I'm trying to say. So when I look at these boats or these, the same thing that Matthew was saying, if you're actually seeing that, then the world is really flat because this refraction thing. So that's the thing. I don't know if you can actually physically, um, I guess, make an experiment to replicate that
Yeah. I don't know if you could because
refraction.
there's atmosphere everywhere you go.
Yeah, I mean, like what I'm trying to say also is because of the curvature, or I mean, I sound like I'm an idiot right now because I can't even explain what I mean. Because when I'm looking at these boats, they're technically under the horizon. Like if I go watch a video right now that says top 10 reasons that we know the Earth is round, and one of those is that boats disappear over the horizon when you watch them, right? Because they're going over the curvature. But because of modern technology, we're able to actually zoom in with telescopes or cameras or whatever, and we see these boats appear. So now what's happening is that explanation is what you're saying is refraction. So you're actually not seeing the boat, you're seeing a refraction of the light and the image being curved through the I guess the liquid or moisture through the atmosphere. But the thing is, I mean, I just don't think that that's a good explanation because um, there's no proof that you can actually show an image that's not there, put some water in front of it, and then all of a sudden that image that's not really there appears like it is in this with the boats, because the boats are actually there. We're actually being able to seeing these boats when we zoom in, because if we don't zoom in, it's not there because our eyesights can't see that far. But now with these fancy, cameras, now you're zooming in, and then boom, that boat's appearing. So
You know what?
technically, we
Well, I
should be
would
able to.
say basically that it's able to zoom in more to the refraction than your eye can. You know what I mean? It's able
Yeah,
to zoom into that atmosphere farther out than you can because the atmosphere has dimmed your eye.
yeah. Yeah, but you see, I mean, like, I think you were trying to do a good example with that picture in your room that you like moved
Mm-hmm.
the camera and then you tried to do that. So that would be an experiment to have something that's actually not visible and then try to refract that and curve the image into
Yeah,
the
I've got a
camera
video
lens.
doing that actually.
Well, that would be pretty sweet because then that would prove that is possible. That when we as flat earthers use these videos to say, look, we're seeing things beyond the curvature, then refraction would be, an actual explanation of why that's happening.
So let's see if I can get the video. So I took it down when I got my job. I took down all my flat earth stuff, but I still have it, I think.
It's probably a good move. But no, actually, see, like, because you're against the flat Earth, so like, why would you take it down? You're combating this retardation.
Oh yeah, no, I took it down because I didn't want to have to.
Yeah.
I just basically got it all up because I had to have any side stuff. I had to have all approved, so I didn't want to have to go through that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see if this video is any good. I think it's only a couple minutes.
So what are you trying to show in this video here?
Yeah, this isn't as good as what I was trying to do in the room, but let me speed it up here. So see on my hands blocking the window. So here you can see the window, right? The two
Mm-hmm.
windows down here.
Okay.
But then here I blocked the camera.
Okay.
But then with the refraction, you can still see the two windows up here. They are inverted, but that's because it's going through two layers of glass.
Gotcha.
So I think, I would have liked to duplicate it in the room here, but the camera's,
No, I see what you're
it's not
saying
as,
there.
it's just a web camera. It's not as good as the camera I used to do the YouTube video.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely like what you had shown with the Google thing, the search with the density with the water and the atmosphere. I mean, the atmosphere is definitely tremendously less than, that snow globe thing.
For sure, yeah.
So maybe it's not a fair comparison, but
Yeah, definitely not a fair comparison.
what you should try is like something that's like impossible. Like put something under, like in that same video, there was a couch there. Put something behind the couch, even if you took the camera, you couldn't see it at all. And then try to refract that image. I don't think that would be possible. You know what I'm saying? Because technically you were just covering like part of the lens, but the thing was still visibly there. So what I'm trying to say is find something that's
I see what you're saying.
completely, because on a round Earth, that is not there. There's no possible humanly way possible to see that. It's not there. It's underneath the curvature. It's way gone. But so that's what I'm trying to say is put like the couch in front of something which would duplicate it being over the curvature and then try to refract it. That I don't think that's possible. That's why I would say right now, I would still go with the flat
I think it
earth
is
thing.
possible. I'm just trying a little experiment in my room. Yeah, I think it is possible. because what I did was
Mhm.
is that I laid this spoon flat on the ground and see how, this is definitely taller than the spoon.
Yeah.
So the spoon is below, you know,
Hmm.
but I can see the spoon off the top of the globe when I look through.
Yeah.
And so it could hit the top of that water or the air and then bounce back down to my eye. But yeah, if it was literally behind something, then yeah, I don't think you could. But if it has the ability to bounce up and then back down to my eye, I think that's possible.
Yeah. But now trying to do that without, just irregular
But yeah,
atmospheric
behind a
density.
couch or something like that, yeah, I don't think that would be possible because the light has to travel. Then you're blocking light, then it doesn't have the ability to refract.
But wouldn't it be the same thing in the globe? Like those things are behind the curvature, which the same thing would be behind the couch.
No, they're not behind because the light can go. So this spoon's laying flat here, but the light can go up here to the sky and then bounce back down to me down here.
Mm-hmm.
So the boat's over here, and then it reflects up to the sky and then bounces back down to me over here.
So, and then that example, what's doing that refraction bouncing off the top on like the thing like Matthew's example? What's the image bouncing off of?
The air, the sky.
Yeah, so I think I would think we would need to figure out a way to duplicate the actual same amount of moisture, because what you're looking at through that snow globe is much more powerful, I guess you could say.
For sure.
So that would be an experiment. So if you did that, then I would probably jump on board with the world being round, because that's one of the biggest flat Earths, like I guess haymakers would be. You're able to see things way beyond the curvature. But if the refraction is actually proven, then I would say, well, yeah, that's a good, good explanation. But I definitely don't believe we're moving, that's for sure.
So I think this is interesting. If what do you mean? Oh, the Earth, you mean?
Yeah, like we're not spinning, we're not going through outer space and stuff like that.
Because if the Earth is round, and see how the light's going straight through here, but as it goes through like the round, the refraction gets more.
I don't get it.
What I'm saying is that if our Earth, if the atmosphere is round, then the refraction is going to be more than if you're going to see when it's at the beginning, see how it just goes straight through. It's not refracting, but the more it goes through a curved atmosphere or curved object like our sky, then refraction increases. See what I mean?
Yeah, so the light's bending.
But why can't you achieve the same thing with just water droplets in
But
normal?
see, here's someone here's low, and then they're over here. It's like it's a curve, you know what I mean?
But now, is that water
it's
it's hitting off of?
It's glass.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if that's a good, expert. Like, is that a fair comparison? Like when we look at in the atmosphere,
Well, I
like,
think it's fair in the aspect that not necessarily that it's bending that much, but that we can see that if it's round and light travels through it, that it bends more than if it was flat, if our atmosphere was flat.
yeah, I mean,
You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
I think like most flat earthers would still say it's curved, like the atmosphere. Like if they believe in like a firmament dome,
Yeah,
that
then
would
we
it
would
would be
still have some type of refraction even on a
yeah,
flat
yeah, of course.
atmosphere or flat Earth.
But I mean, I don't right now I'm not convinced that somebody's able to duplicate or replicate a fair comparison to say, look, this is a controlled experiment that, duplicates the exact atmospheric pressure, moisture, everything, because again, we're not looking through glass. I guess when I look out in the ocean and see a boat, even if I zoom in, which is technically looking through a glass lens, I mean, maybe that's what's refracting. Is that what's the glass part? The
It
image
says
that's,
that it has something to do with glass from air, but I'm not sure what they mean by that. How does glass? Okay, so you can do it, but you have to increase the pressure in the room. So maybe that's what they're doing in this video, maybe. Or is that Matthew or Stacy? Sounds like me. I'm not sure what they're doing. It says light refraction in glass air surface. Yeah, I'm not that much of a scientist to figure it out.
yeah, same.
How's school going?
It's gone. Pretty busy. That's why I haven't been on lately. I had like 2 essays due this week, so I just finished one of them today, and got the weekend to do the other one. So I'm just trying to get stuff done, and I got to go to work tomorrow too, which stinks. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't normally work on the weekends. It's just my company. We're moving our warehouse, so we got a lot of stuff to move to the new place, which stinks. But gotta get it done. I guess. But how's things going with you? Everything's going good.
Going all right. It's been better, but it is what it is.
Yeah. How's your son doing?
I think he's doing pretty good. The school had him out an hour and a half in sub-freezing weather, so he got frostbite. I can't
Are you
believe the school.
serious?
Yeah,
Why would they do that?
they're having a Memorial Day thing for Veterans Day at Memorial Park, and he's in JRTC, so he
Oh
had to
yeah,
sit out
that's right.
there,
Wow.
kind of like military, and
Mm-hmm.
with just military clothing on, no hat, no gloves,
Wow.
just slack pants, and so he had like just real thin gloves. I shouldn't say no gloves, but just dress military gloves, not winter gloves.
Yeah.
I
Jeez,
can't
that's
believe they'd
crazy.
put him out there for that, but
his other students, I guess, have the same
Other
problem.
students, yeah.
Wow, can't believe that. That's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, crazy.
Man. But
So luckily, I don't think he lost any like fingers or ears or anything. But I mean, that can definitely happen. So I'm not too happy with the school at the moment.
yeah, I mean, I can't believe that would even be done.
I mean, they should just wave that off for another day, or canceled it.
Yeah, I know. What is it? It's Monday, the Veterans Day.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So, but he survived, thankfully. I think so.
Yeah.
He said he couldn't feel his legs.
Man, that'll be pretty terrible. I mean, but I'm a weakling when it comes to like the cold. I mean, I like the cold weather. It's just, for me,
it's
I
not something to mess around with. So
I know.
It didn't sound like he quite got as bad as I did. I thought I was going to literally die from frostbite one time in my life.
Wow.
My whole body was like sharp needles, and I literally thought I was going to die. It was a horrible experience. And it lasted the pain lasted probably for like 3-4 months afterwards. So it wasn't.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm pretty susceptible to cold now, but I was tingly and like needle type pain for about 4 months, maybe even longer. So,
Wow, that's terrible.
yeah, it wasn't very much. I thought I had done like permanent nerve damage, so I was just praying it would get better, and thank God it did. So,
Yeah, I mean, thank God. I mean, you're okay. I mean,
right.
be careful.
Yeah. So
At
now I
least you
pay
don't live in
attention to
Canada.
I went out in the cold and I didn't look how cold it was, and I went for a walk, and I was like halfway through, I'm like, gosh, it's a lot colder than I was thinking. And I was like, I tried to run to try to warm my body up, but by the time I got home, my face was covered in icicles and off my beard, and
Wow,
yeah.
that's gnarly.
Yeah.
It's crazy how like all you guys experience that when I don't ever experience that.
Right. I could go for some Florida weather year round.
I mean, it's
I think I could deal
fascinating.
with the hurricanes to go for the better weather.
Yeah, you say that now. No, I mean, I would love. I mean, my goal is to definitely move more north for sure.
Yeah.
One day, whenever I get, money, I
Bankroll.
guess. Whenever those lottery numbers come in,
Right.
uh, but yeah, I mean, because I mean, I've lived in Florida my whole life, and I feel like when I did go to like in 2017, I went to Ohio for like a weekend, and it was cold there, and I loved it, man. It was awesome. But again, like I've never really lived in that stuff, so I don't really experience that. So for me, it's something unique and fun. But for people like you're sick and tired, cold weather probably.
Every year.
Yeah. Like we don't even experience like a change really. It's just pretty much just hot, and then it kind of gets a little bearable, and then it's pretty much it.
Might as well probably end the recording, would be my guess, Albert. I don't think we're going to get to too much Bible stuff tonight.
Yeah.
Snoring.
I'll make my way down there.
That's fine. What have you guys been, I guess, anything lately of studying, I guess?
we talked about Lori, Albert, and Stacy and I had a debate basically on angels and whether they're real or not, and or if there's fallen angels too. We debated on that, and we debated on that creation, that one of the chapters that when he was talking to Job, that it was talking about creation, and